This podcast is part of the Batman Universe Podcast Network, hosted by the BatmanUniverse.net. Check out everything related to Batman and the entire Bat family at the BatmanUniverse.net, including news and original content related to comics, movies, television, merchandise, video games, and more. Also, check out some of the other unique podcasts that TBU has to offer. Consider supporting this podcast by becoming a patron on Patreon. Even $1 can go a long way in supporting this content that you enjoy. Look for a link over at the BatmanUniverse.net to offer your support now. And now, on with the show.
Hello and welcome to the Batman Universe Comic Podcast. This is Season 15, Episode 3. Recording on Valentine's Day, although this will come out on Friday, and sadly this is Solicits Week, so we won't get all the news, but I think we've got a good chunk of it. I'm your host, Ian, and I have with me...
This is Steph.
And this is Theo.
And since recording on Valentine's Day, Steph had the brilliant idea of starting with a little bit of shipper indulgence for all of us. We're going to talk a little bit about any shipping, and it doesn't have to be in Batman comics or even comics in general. So let's start off with Steph.
Okay, so recently my favorite couple is technically from Dark Horse Comics, though they don't get together in the comics, but they do get together in, well, they haven't gotten together in the show yet, but in Critical Role, Vox Machina, and the show Legend of Vox Machina, Vaxel Dan and Keyleth are my favorite ship recently. They are so cute.
Okay, can I just say, all right, so can I just say, I watched a few episodes. That's not really for the kiddies.
Oh, it is not.
Oh my God.
Do not let your children watch that or read that comic. I watched the whole or listened to the whole because it originates as a D&D campaign, and I watched the whole thing, and it was great. Their love story is just so sweet. Anyway, that's my ship recently. And Katara and Zuko for life. But that's like...
That's not canon.
And that's not recent. So.
Zuko and May are a much better ship.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're not even going to talk about this. This is ridiculous.
Yes, let's talk about it, because I want to see somebody fight. I need to
Theo
see...
wants blood.
Yes, I need to see somebody get cussed out or something.
May is a terrible person, and she is unhealthy. And even if you don't ship Zuko with Katara, May is a horrible girlfriend, and Aang is a terrible boyfriend.
I am not going to disagree with you about Aang, but May is a great girlfriend.
She is that. She is mean.
Yeah, so is Zuko.
No, he is lovely.
He's also mean.
Anyway, Vaxel Dan is my love forever. The end.
Who?
The guy in the ship. Vaxel Dan. Vax. He's the elf. He's the elf rogue. And she is the elf druid.
Yeah, leave Zuko with Katara. I'm sorry.
Yoo-hoo! Ian, who do you ship?
I've been reading a bunch of Superman stuff because we just did, on DC Universe Ultra, they just sent out the Death of Superman exclusive comic thingy. And so I've been shipping a lot of Superman and Lois. I went back through some of my Superman comics. And of course, there's a heavy Superman and Lois connection in all of them. And there's also a lot of good Superman and Lois romance going on right now in Action Comics, both in the main story and the backup. Also, Cobra Kai's Miguel Diaz and Sam LaRusso are the best ship in the whole show and amazing.
No.
I know that Theo loves Tori and Ron, who are also good.
Yes. Tori for life.
They are also good, but for me, it's Miguel and Sam.
I will say that
Sam's a player.
In high school, I think it was high school.
Were you a player?
I don't know.
You were a player, Steph?
Dean Kane and Terry Hatcher were one of my favorite couple OTPs. The Lois and Clark of my generation.
But Tyler Hoechlin and Bitsy, what's her last name?
Bitsy is Itsy Bitsy.
Yeah, those two. I really like them in Superman and Lois. I also really like Tom Welling and Erica Durance. They're great too. And I like Henry Cavill and Amy Adams. Like, all of these are good Superman and Loises in addition to Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher.
Oh no, yeah, I was just saying Superman and Lois, but those were my Superman and Lois. So, question then for you: what was your reaction? Well, I'm so. What was your reaction in the New 52 when Superman was with Wonder Woman?
Burn it with fire. Burn it.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I mean, and they've tried that so many times in so many ways because it would. That not only happened in the New 52, but it happened in the animated universe as well.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, the animated universe was based on the New 52.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about
it was until Death of Superman.
Yeah, and then they got back with Lois. Yes.
Well, I don't think he got back with her. It was like he got with her for the first time.
On a meta-universal level.
And now we have John in the movies or in the cartoons.
Is Adventures of the Super Sons connected to the animated universe stuff?
I'm going to choose to believe that it is. It probably isn't, but I'm going to
I will choose to believe. Although John and Superman and Lois is gone. They're recasting them.
Oh.
I mean, the new actor looks fine.
Oh, they recast them already? Who's the new actor?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember the kid actor's name.
Some guy. I just hope they don't go the way of John or Jordan the way John is in the comic book. Please don't.
We shall see.
Oh,
I hope not to, but
I need two things. I need two things to happen. I need them to leave Superman and Lois alone and not make it any more CW-y. Then,
yeah, agreed.
Then I need them to move it to HBO Max. That way, it won't ever have to worry about being CW-y.
Theo just wants everybody to have like the mature television seats.
No, I just need it away from the CW. Because everything.
You're not wrong. Although, honestly, I would argue that Titans is very, very CW-y, and that's never been on the CW.
And that's why it's canceled.
After 4 seasons, though.
Oh God!
Can you believe it got 40 full episodes?
I did not watch. I have not watched season 4, and I have no interest in doing so.
I've never watched past season 1.
I watched most of seasons 1 and 2, and I was just like, okay, this is enough.
Yeah, because
it's very CW-y. Like the relationships are all super immature, and it's all the most dramatically stupid things that happen.
And the thing that gets me is, with all of the history the Titans have, why do you have to go and steal all of Batman's stories?
I mean, technically, the first story is Lazarus. No, it's Raven's backstory, and then the next season is
that was
Judith's contract.
Was it Judith's contract?
Technically. And then third season was Batman's story because I think it was Under the Hood, but it was
under the hood. Yeah, it was completely.
And I have no idea what the fourth season is. Don't ask me.
Well, season 4 has Lex Luthor, so I'm assuming that.
Well, I mean, that's a Superman thing.
Yeah, that's a kind of story. But again, why just pull from the Titans' history?
The actual. I mean, yeah. The first 2 seasons were more Titansy, but Okay, well, but Theo, what are your shippings?
Recent, I'm gonna hold off on recent,
All right.
and I am Bruce and Selena for life. I am
Full life.
They have not had a good couple years, though.
Hush. I am Peter and Mary Jane for life,
Yeah.
and I am
Spider-Gwen and Miles.
huh?
Spider-Gwen and Miles.
I don't know, because if you read
In the movie, they're clearly shipping.
in the movie, they're really shipping. But if you read the comics, almost everything points to Miles and Kamala getting together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was that issue of the end where they were basically doing the final story of heroes before they died or what have you. And the one for Miles basically hinted that he and Miss Marvel had a thing that was more than just a flame.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let me see. Do I have any other ships? I think that's until later. Yeah.
Until later. Stay tuned, listeners. This is our way to keep getting you to keep listening.
Could it be the Valentine's Day special? Only one way to find out.
I mean, I can't guarantee I'm going to remember that particular joke because I cut that from our Greater Gotham.
I still don't know. And I'm also Harley and Ivy.
Oh,
I thought you didn't like Harley.
But they're such a good couple. I hate Harley as a single character, but as a couple, yeah, those two are.
This makes no sense to me.
Unless you enter Sean's universe, and then it's Harley and Bruce, which is out there.
I mean, he sells it, but it's a wacky ship.
Good. It is a wacky ship.
It is a wacky.
He holds her butt in the last episode.
Huh?
He's holding her butt in the last issue.
Wait, I missed that.
You need to rewrite it. It's a big old butthole.
Oh, no, that's right. When they were laying on the sofa. No, you're right.
No. When they're riding up the grapple. So technically, he's just holding on to her.
Yeah, he's just holding her. Yeah.
Is a butt grab.
Hey, but...
Speaking of the White Knight, first news item is that White Knight is getting 2 additional titles. So the first one that's announced is a Joker Generations, Generation Joker,
there we go.
which is about Harley's twins trying to resurrect their father. The second title is World's Finest. Now, that's about Superman and Wonder Woman. So Sean Murphy is going to be writing and drawing The World's Finest, and his wife Katana Collins and another co-writer are doing the writing, and Mirka Andolfo is doing art for Generation Joker.
I don't like that. I'd rather have that reversed.
I really liked the Katana Collins Harley Quinn, though. I thought it was good.
Was that the one where it was just about Harley?
Yeah.
It was Harley and that cinema serial killer guy.
Yeah, that was fine, I guess. I just really like the way Murphy's voice is. I would just prefer to have him on the kids' book than on the unrelated. I guess it has to be related, but...
So, can I just say I might be okay with Generations Joker, but if I had my pick, I would not want either of these.
Yeah.
The story that I want is Dick and Jason. Those two,
yes,
in the White Knight universe, that is the duo we all did not know we wanted, but we need. And Mr. Murphy,
and I like the idea of in there too. Yeah,
Mr. Murphy, if you're listening, please pitch that to Marie and Ben and whoever else, because I didn't know I needed it, but I kind of do now.
They were the best part of the last issue.
Second piece of news is they've released solicitation for the Batman the Brave and the Bold. Turns out Batman the Brave and the Bold is just Urban Legends Part 2. It's 4 stories, 64 pages, 2 20-pagers, and 2 10-pagers.
Yeah.
Probably going to be $8, just like Urban Legends, but it'll have more non-Batman stuff in it. I hate this so much. We just got done with freaking Urban Legends, and we have Urban Legends 2.
It's gonna start with Jan Mora writing. So
Is it?
that's good.
Well, I think he's writing and drawing a black and white story, but it'll be a 10-pager.
Okay. I'm here for Mitch Gerards and Dan Mora.
Hey, Tom King's doing one. I'm sure Ian's going to be
Tom
all
King
over that
is
one.
Doing Mitch Gerads and the Joker, and so unfortunately, that's my least favorite Tom King.
Yeah, but okay. So I mean, I enjoyed the beginning of Urban Legends a lot, and then I hung on for a lot longer than you guys did. So I'm hoping that at least starts decent, and it'll take a few months to back into the.
I will say, I'm like you. The first part, other than the stupid grifter story,
I loved the grifter.
Okay, yeah, you're not perfect, but the first, I enjoyed the first part of Urban Legends. I totally got just thrown for a loop with the stupid Batgirl story that only introduced Batwoman of the TV series. Then I was totally miffed at the stupid Gotham. What was it? Birds of Prey that wasn't, and so other than the whole Seer part, I was kind of okay on the tail end with the Jamal Campbell story. I thought the I thought the
Outsiders.
Yes, the Outsiders were. Well, my problem with the Outsiders, I didn't like the way it ended. It was just like, and then it was gone. Huh?
My problem with Outsiders is that should have been an ongoing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so we're going to talk about this later, but Brandon Thomas did it again. But I'll talk about that later. But yeah, no, I'm not interested in if Brave and the Bold is going to be Urban Legends 2.0, I'm going to have to take a pass on that.
In our last piece of comic news, Poison Ivy has expanded first from a 6-issue to a 12-issue, and now from a 12-issue to an ongoing series.
From mini maxi to regular. All right.
Oh, just please die.
Why? It has been a good story. I mean, it's gory as hell, and
okay. But it is unfair of me to be so angry about this because I am not reading it, and it's not for me. I'm just irritated that they are still doing 1 in 50 variant covers at issue 7, which I think is a very cheap sales tactic.
Ivy's getting somewhat of a redemption, though.
A little bit.
Actual redemption?
A little bit.
Like she actually understands she did wrong things?
Yeah.
Nah.
A little bit.
I'm going to need more than a little bit.
Dude, so we went from none to a little bit. And then after that, that means we get some. And then after some, we get a little bit more. And then after a little bit more, we get a lot.
With an ongoing, it can be a little slower.
Either that, or they're just going to keep pretending that Ivy didn't do anything wrong, and that is just unacceptable.
I don't think from what's been published already, including this one, she kind of understands what she's done, and Harley, to her credit, really gets her. And I think Harley helped her realize, if you go all the way back to the issue of Harley where she sends her off and tell her, hey, you need to do your own thing, seems that it worked. That's just me.
Well, that is fair. It's not a story for me. And lastly, there was a small sporting event on the weekend, and small amounts of money were spent on advertisements, including a trailer for the upcoming Flash movie. And in this Flash movie, we found out that Ben Affleck and Michael Keaton will be playing two different Batmen in this movie. Have you seen these trailers? And if so, what were your thoughts on the Batman?
Wait, there was more than one?
There's the TV spot, which was about 50 seconds, and then the regular trailer, which was 3 minutes, and they had different pieces in them.
Yeah, I didn't see. I didn't
seen the short one.
Yeah, I haven't seen the short one. I just saw the regular trailer.
But it looks fun. At TBU
Comics Podcast,
we understand that Ezra Miller is a scumbag and should probably get arrested and is a bad person and should never work in Hollywood again. But he's not the only person who worked on this movie, and so I agreed that it should be released, and I will probably watch it, and I am looking forward to it because I do like the Flashpoint story, and I love Michael Keaton, and I love Batfleck, and I thought they were both great. The two berries was a twist. That's interesting. I mean, it might be a twist. I actually don't remember the Flashpoint story in super detail. I just remember
it's not 100% Flashpoint.
Yeah, it's not 100% Flashpoint. It just looks like a lot of fun. It did cross my mind that we've had a lot of Marvel multiverse lately, and so it can seem maybe like they're just copying Marvel, but obviously they've been copying each other for 80 years. So whatever. But it looks like fun.
But see, I don't see this as a copying Marvel type thing with, Marvel's multiverse, that the multiverse that they have going on.
I'm thinking from the point of view of the moviegoer who doesn't know the comics and just enjoys the show, the watching. That they would, if I were just an average Joe, I would think, oh, that's weird. Marvel's doing multiverse stuff, and now they're doing. I don't know. I could just maybe see how someone might think that.
You sound like a friend of mine who what's his name on the server, who absolutely hated the trailer because it didn't reveal enough about what Flashpoint is about.
Oh no, I love that. I think trailers these days give way too much away. It's ridiculous. I like that it was pretty vague.
Yeah, I like that it was pretty vague. I don't know if I'm going to see it in the theaters. I think that Flash suit is absolutely horrid. I thought that they would have did improvement on the last one, which was the pieces put together, but obviously they didn't get the memo to do that. It was weird reading some of the reactions on social media where some was actually wondering whether or not Christian Bale made an appearance too. But I don't see that. I didn't see that. I mean, I think they made it just based on the way the Batman was riding on the motorcycle in that one scene. Mm. But I mean, I don't expect Bruce and Bruce to be in the same scene at the same time. I would assume that we get Batfleck in the beginning and perhaps Batfleck at the end, or maybe not, since it's supposed to be resetting everything. So
so what if we get whoever the new? Well, no, they wouldn't have thought that far ahead back then, because this is a pretty old movie, right?
Yeah, it was finished a few years ago, and it just kept holding it off. So it'll be interesting. But it looks like the idea that James Gunn said that it was going to reset everything. I think that was kind of the point even before he got there, that Flash would reset everything. But as long as it resets everything, including Ezra Miller, I'm fine with that. You know what? If what I would like to see is that when the reset occurs, it's not Barry that we have Wally West.
Oh,
don't tempt me with a good time.
That would be fun.
And then all will be right in the world.
I thought the trailer was really exciting. I was personally a little concerned about the whole Supergirl thing, but the way they did it, honestly, I see what they're going for, and I'm very excited about the whole
Supergirl.
thing.
I hate Supergirl.
I really liked seeing Keaton. He's clearly having a ton of fun. It was really cool to see Batfleck as well, and I'm very hyped. I am definitely seeing it in theaters.
I was surprised at how many people were surprised to see not just Keaton, but Affleck too, because I thought it was common knowledge that he was in the movie. And I thought it was common
My
knowledge.
problem is I keep hearing rumors that they took this out and they took this out, and so I didn't know anything.
I thought it was common. And actually, I thought it was common knowledge that they put out there that both of them were going to be in it. I don't know.
Well, I'm glad both of them are in it.
I mean, it makes sense now, but I didn't realize that Batfleck would be in it.
Now, here's the other thing, and I kind of said this on the server also. Some of the stuff that we see in the trailer, we probably won't see in the movie. So
it's possible
because of Justice League.
Well, no, just in general, there's a lot of times that a trailer will come out and they'll show certain pieces, and then you get to the actual movie and it never pops up. And I can't remember who posted it, but I think the reason why they said is that the people that do the trailers have absolutely nothing to do with the movie.
Right. Yeah. They're their own editing suite and personnel.
Sometimes their own company.
They're always their own company. Yeah. Like that, they're dedicated trailer business people.
So
all right. So that was a lot of news. We're definitely going to have solicitations by the end of the week, but I think they probably front loaded the Batman stuff. Could be wrong. Could be a couple of announcements that are coming that I don't know about, but lots of stuff for us to talk about already, as you can see. In the meantime,
wait, did we mention Caper?
Oh, is that news? I thought those were like a joke.
Caper is not a joke. I mean, did you see that profile for Stephanie? I mean, if I was
on DC's official Instagram and Twitter accounts, they have put up Caper dating profiles. This is actually a thing they started back in 2019, but they've added some profiles, including Zatanna and John Constantine and Jon Stewart and a new character, Jewel, I think. But of course, the most important dating profile is Stephanie Brown, who is now officially 18 from 2014 to 2023. She's aged 1 year.
Compared to my boy Damien.
And she is online now looking to spoil someone special. And she's wearing her purple working out uniform from the Robin's miniseries variant covers.
And obviously it's not Tim Drake.
The Jimmy... Shoot, what is Jimmy's last name? Olsen. The Jimmy Olsen picture is very unfortunate.
It's exactly what you'd think from a dateless wonder. All right, so let's move to our review for the week, and that's Batman number 130. By Chip Zdarsky, art by Mike Hawthorne. We begin in Gotham City apartment on another world in the multiverse. Dr. Leslie Tompkins rushes out the door to pick up a shift. Alfred Pennyworth pleads with her not to go, but as Leslie points out, too many doctors have fled to Metropolis, so someone needs to help those in need. Elsewhere, the Bruce Wayne of the main universe shadows Jewel, or Julia, as she goes about helping those she can in a Gotham City overrun by Venom-enhanced police. In this Gotham, the city is walled off, and the United States has abandoned everyone within those walls. I've heard this scenario before. Bruce sees Skelly Jim talking to him as he helps Jewel. Jewel notices Bruce acting distracted and asks if he's hallucinating. Bruce thinks it's from multiverse travel, but Jewel knows otherwise. The denizens of this Gotham call it Crane Brain, as it derives from a gas pumped into the city by the administration running Arkham Asylum. The gas promotes mental illness, resulting in more people being committed to Arkham. Jewel gives Bruce some pills, which everyone outside of our Athena Tower takes to avoid Crane Brain. At Athena Tower, Red Mask and his armed men go to the judge's chambers to see Harvey Dent. Dent rests on a throne before a room full of dead men. Red Mask takes Dent's venom power away before giving it right back if he doesn't get in line and deliver the new Bruce Wayne to Arkham. At Jewel's safe house, Bruce cooks for her while she tells him about Darwin Halliday, the man who owns Athena Tower and created the drug that combats Crane Brain. Jewel believes he's the only one standing up to everything going on, but Bruce isn't so sure. Bruce thinks back to his world, back to Alfred and his Robins. Next week, there's a fundraiser gala at Athena Tower, and Bruce plans to attend so he can meet Halliday. In the meantime, Jewel gets him a fake ID, and he assumes the name of Wilson Texlon, a financier from Metropolis. He also makes some rudimentary weapons. Wilson Texlon asks around for Halliday, but Selina Kyle finds him. She asks him to dance, and it takes every fiber of Bruce's being to remind himself that this is not his Selina. Immediately, Selina calls him out, letting it be known that she knows he's Bruce Wayne. Bruce tries to fake that he's been living under an assumed name for a fresh start, but Selina reveals that in Gotham, Bruce gave up everything to become a social worker and then died. When Bruce presses to find Halliday, she indicates that he's on the second floor. Bruce looks up and goes cold. The man on the second floor has the Joker's face and smile, though he's not white or made up like a clown. Before he can meet this possible Joker, Selina snaps Bruce up in her whip, and Punchline bursts into the gala and attacks. Bruce breaks free of Selina's whip, tries to run for it, but Killer Croc intervenes. Croc beats Bruce to the ground, but Bruce lights him on fire with some alcohol from a local bottle and tosses him out the window. About to make a gateway, Bruce sees Alfred. Distracted, Selina is able to get Bruce in her whip again, but a man pulls out a gun and fires, hitting Bruce in the shoulder, and Bruce falls out of the window. Selina's whip saves him, and he's able to make a safe landing from a skyscraper onto the street below. He climbs to his feet and stumbles around into an alley. He sees a police officer beating someone mercilessly, so he saves the person. Using every ounce of strength to take out the venom-enhanced officer, he remembers missing his world, his sons, and his Selina, but he determines that this world needs him, and he'll never give up. So, what do you think of alternate universe Selina?
Well, she looks nice. I think Bruce knows her pretty well. I feel like she is who she would be without being with Bruce. I feel like wanting to be with him is part of her motivation for whatever you want to call it. She wasn't really ever reformed, but stealing less, being less of a criminal. I don't know, but she always does what she wants. I like her. She seems like she does what she wants within the confines of the creepy world they're living in and behaving in a way just enough to not be suspected or red flagged or whatever. I hate that dress. But anyway.
I mean, yeah, pretty much like Steph said, she was a Selina. She was a Selina that never met Bruce in year one and didn't have that morality that he always applied to her. So it was what's expected in a Batman-less, that word, Batman-less universe.
I thought she was really cool. Zdarsky definitely has a good handle on an appealing Selina voice, even though this is obviously an alternate universe Selina, but he writes her very similar to how he wrote her in the backups. Just a lot of character, personality, sass, intelligence, and impulsiveness. Just really feels like a complicated character, and I'm still on board with the idea that, similar to his Daredevil run, Zdarsky's going to build up to a big Bat-Cat reunion. I really think that's where we're headed. What do you think about Crane Brain? The idea that basically Scarecrow gas is everywhere.
I mean, I guess it makes sense and it sets people up for failure. I'd wonder what the motivation is, like terrorizing an entire city and setting them up to be criminals / crazy. Being crazy doesn't make you a criminal, but I guess here it does. So I don't know. I don't understand what their motivation is for doing this, but I as far as like how you can be diagnosed with crazy. It makes sense.
It does. It makes almost as much sense as Harvey being souped up on Venom. I mean, did you see how quickly he came crashing?
Yeah.
Kind of felt
I had to
sorry
look at
for
that
him.
a few times to figure out what was going on because I didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah, but to answer the question, it's a weird idea considering the overall plot, and this is how you control Gotham by basically making everybody crazy, or like Harvey, one of the two, because you either got the regular citizens who are going through Crane Brain, or you have GCPD who are all souped up on a version of Venom, including Harvey.
I thought it was really clever. I mean, I think that Zdarsky is being very over the top in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of thought put into the topness. And this definitely feels like a different dystopian Gotham than a lot of the Gothams we've seen. Thankfully, it also feels very different than that terrible Worlds Without a Justice League tie-in that I'm going to keep. I'm going to keep referencing this as long as we're in this alternate universe because that scarred me for 6 months. And I think it's a clever explanation for Skelly Gordon.
Yeah, because that was really weird.
Yeah.
So did he actually take the pill?
I think so. I'm not sure. That'll be something we'll have to keep an eye on.
Because I don't know. If I was Batman, and
I would not put things in my body. I did not know
put
what
things in my body I didn't know about. Yeah. I mean, if I was Stephanie Mounts, I wouldn't put things in my body I didn't know about. That's just weird.
What do you think Bruce could actually do in a 6-issue arc? And of course, this could be longer, but I don't think they're going to let Zdarsky have this alternate universe be the main continuity for more than 6 issues. I mean, they definitely didn't like what happened when Tom King did that.
This is funner.
Nightmares is my favorite arc from Tom King's Batman, so I disagree, but definitely more people agree with you.
I'd like him, and this is probably par for the course. This has probably done 100 times before, but I'd like him to recruit people like Selina and Two-Face and leave this Gotham with a trajectory of a plan and then have them be in charge and just leave it in their hands. Because I feel like wrapping things up nicely, quickly, is silly, I think.
The only thing that makes me wonder, and again, I haven't read solicits to know, but the only thing that makes me think that this may last longer than 6 issues is we right now have a Bruce who wants to save this Gotham, who feels he needs to save this Gotham, and isn't really thinking too much, although he mentions having to go back, but who isn't thinking too much about getting back to his Gotham because he knows his family is there. You know, he misses them, but he knows that they're there protecting the city, whereas this Gotham has nothing, and he feels he needs to save it. So I could see them going beyond 6 issues so that he can, I guess, get it out of his system and want to head home. But it would take something like Steph saying, you know, him recruiting folks to carry the flag after he heads back, unless Tim just drops in and takes him without him being ready to.
I honestly don't know how he can fix something. I think it would be cool because I like the idea that Batman can make a difference, and I think Steph's idea of inspiration is a good one because I think Batman is an inspirational character, both in his universe with the Robins and Catwoman and the other characters, but also in our universe, people are inspired to try and be better by reading Batman or watching Batman in the movies, and I think that's great.
Well, I mean, also because, like, I don't know. I feel like it's too much give a man a fish. Like, Batman can't stay in that universe. Even if he fixes the problem, he's going to leave. And then what? If Batman is the glue holding it together and he leaves, then it's all going to fall apart. So I think he knows that. He needs to set up a system.
Agreed. But I just don't know how it's going to do. I mean, nothing has gone how I expected it, which is good. But it does mean that my pattern recognition is not very helpful in trying to figure out where it's going. What do you think of Mike Hawthorne's art?
I liked it. I looked through it a second time because I was like, man, that was really good. And I looked at it and I was like, well, okay. It wasn't as fantastic as I had thought the first time. But it was very, very good. Very serviceable. Did the job. It was very great.
Yeah, it was okay. It's not Jorge Jimenez, but
No.
it was okay. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Hawthorne, I definitely like it better than his Wonder Woman stuff. I know he was really excited to do Wonder Woman, but I didn't like the way he drew it. But I'm enjoying the way he's drawing Batman. And his Selina's definitely really cool looking and lots of good action. Like it feels like he's good at storytelling, which is definitely something you need to be in comics. Let's move to our backup. This is the Toy Box Part 2, also written by Chip Zdarsky. Art by Miguel Mendonca, I believe. I could be wrong. If you know how to pronounce it, please write in and tell me. Months ago, in Metropolis, as Toyman went on a rampage, killing innocent bystanders and turning others into toys, Superman John Kent tried to stop him, but Toyman killed himself. In the present, Robin, Tim Drake, analyzes one of the dolls Toyman transformed a man into. He notes multiversal energy connected to the doll, and pointing out that the gun Toyman used was the same one Failsafe used on Batman when he disappeared. Tim says this out loud, asking a shadowy figure behind him for help. Mr. Terrific tells Tim his theory is sound, but he'll need some time to create a multiversal device that will help Robin track down Batman as well as the other people Toyman displaced. Tim goes home and hangs out with Bernard, spending time with his boyfriend before an adventure that could end in tragedy. The next day, Robin suits up in a special multiversal suit made by Mr. Terrific. He collects some discs which will send people back to their correct universe, then takes the plunge into another universe. Immediately, he finds some of the survivors that Toyman displaced, but also Toyman himself leading an army. What do you think of Zdarsky's use of Tim in this backup after his use of Tim in the main story for Failsafe?
I mean, it makes sense. It follows, I think, Tim's personality, his trajectory from the previous arc. I think this is something that would happen. I think the story being here makes sense. I don't know how he picked this universe to go to, and I'm not a big fan of it being Toyman centered instead of him actually finding Bruce. But I mean, whatever. Chip's done good so far, so maybe there's some point to all this. Maybe he's just supposed to save people and not actually save Bruce.
I will say that Chip's handling of Tim Drake is eons times better. Is that right? Yeah. Better than Megan Fitzmartin.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Completely true, but a very low bar.
So there's that. But I like the story. I like that Tim is adamant in knowing that Bruce is alive, figuring out Bruce is alive, and determined to find where Bruce is, even to the point, he's ready to fight John and whoever else to make it happen. I can't remember how he ended up in Toyman's universe instead of New Gotham, but I am still interested in this story. Again, I one of the things that has been great about what Zdarsky has been doing on Batman is how the backups have been so related to what's going on to the main story and so important to the main story. That it gives you a background of what's going on. So, Bruce has been sent to this new universe, this new Gotham, where there's no Batman. However, we still get an idea of what's going on in Gotham with what Tim is doing. Now, of course, he's in Toyman's world now, but still, at least we get an idea of what's going on at home. And I really appreciate what the backups, not just in Batman, but also in tech, for its part, has been in keeping things tied together.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Zdarsky's been doing a really good job with these backups. They almost feel like A and B plot, almost, not necessarily backups in the traditional sense. They are focusing on a different character, but oftentimes a B plot will focus completely on a different character too. And I will say, much as I don't like them, I would argue that the Spurrier backups in Detective are structured in a very similar way. Both the backups in Batman and Detective are clearly directly connected to the plot of the main story. And there's clearly a lot of collaboration between Romvey and Cy Spurrier. And obviously, Chip Zdarsky deigns to collaborate with himself sometimes. Mm-hmm. Any comments about Medel Maganka's art for this backup?
I think I liked the backup art a little better than the main art.
Really? What, like any specific things that you like better?
I think it's just more my style. It's a little, and maybe it was the colors. I don't know. There was something a little more lively about the art. And it could just be that the Batman story is more of a noir dystopian story. And obviously, Tim is going to a place where the Toyman is in charge. So obviously, it'd be more like Babes in Toyland kind of thing. But my eyes were happier looking at the backup story.
It was definitely easier to follow because of the vividness.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
In Batman, the brightest point of the story was when he was at the party about to get his butt whipped.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already kind of familiar with Miguel Maganka. I've seen him a lot, and I kind of have him in my sort of B-list artist category. He's definitely good, but he's never really stood out to me. But this could be similar to like Rafa Sandoval in Black Adam and Action Comics, or Daniel Sampere in Dark Crisis. Like, they were good before, but I feel like some of these stories have allowed them to really develop into better artists and have a better showcase. And maybe this will be the case for Miguel too. I just kind of already have pigeonholed him, which is unfair. Artists can always develop. Last question for the backup. Do you think this is actually the right universe that Bruce is in? Obviously, he's in Metropolis, but do you think that he can just travel to Gotham?
I don't think so. Because if Gotham is having a brain drain and they're going to Metropolis and it's run over by Toyman, I don't think that's where they would go.
Steph took my answer. That was going to be my exact answer based on what we're hearing with regards to what's going on in New Gotham, with how people are running to get to Metropolis. I can't see this being in the same universe.
I kind of want it to be the same universe, but I definitely think that I could see Tim having more universe hopping before he can get to Bruce.
Yeah. No, I want it to be too, because I want this to be done quickly. But yeah, I think he's going to have hiccups. There's no way it can go smoothly.
He's going to do some universe hopping and popping.
Hopping that universe.
I used to have a shirt with frogs on it that said, "I'm so hibbity hop." And then I would say, "I'm so hibbity hop, I'm going to hip hop to the hip hop shop."
Steph, don't ever do that again.
I was in my 20s.
All right, so let's give this issue a rating out of 5 red sexy dresses for Selena.
No, that dress is horrible. That
It's better than her current costume.
it's that neckline. Or that boob line, whatever that is. Anyway, 3.5. I really liked the issue. I really liked the art. I liked the story. I'm interested in what's going to happen. I am invested. I need more.
Oh, God, no, I will not. 3.25. I can't do it. Sorry. Steph took my original answer, so 3.25. I don't have a problem with Selena's dress because, they still cater to males buying comics, even though the number of females have increased exponentially. Yeah, 3.25.
Well, unfortunately for Theo, I said 3.5 before Steph said 3.5, so I wasn't bandwagoning. And Scott also said 3.5, so there is a mode of 3.5 and an average of 3.44. Definitely an above average issue. Nothing really stood out to me in a way that's like, oh man, I'm going to remember this comic for a long time. Like Batman 98 in Joker War by Tynan. Like that really stands out to me even 2 years later. Or things like, Double Date or the ending of Tom King's run. Like there are issues that stand out to me individually for many years, but this isn't one of them. But it's a very, very good issue.
Okay, so since I can't win this, I will go with what I originally was going to go with, and I'll give it a 3.5.
So it is a 3.5 all around. I'll be so happy.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Whether you are a first-time TBU Comics podcast listener, a 13-year veteran, or anything in between, we'd love to hear what you think about this episode or any of the comics we discussed. Send emails to tbu@thebatmanuniverse.net. Join our Discord server linked at thebatmanuniverse.net. Send us a tweet at TBU_comics. Or, if you're a patron, leave us a comment on our Patreon page. We'd also love it if you left us a review on iTunes. We'd love to read your comments on the next episode of the Batman Universe Comics Podcast. Batman may claim he works alone, but we know that he needs the Bat Family. Join the TBU Bat Family and let us know what you think.
All right. So let's move on to Greater Gotham. And DC definitely published a lot of books that included Greater Gotham this week. So buckle up.
Buckle up.
Batman Legends of Gotham one shot.
Thumbs up. But remind me what happens in that.
I think it was the Outsiders plus Red Hood.
Plus Red Hood. It was fine. It's not an enthusiastic thumbs up. It was fine. It was serviceable.
It is a neutral trending up. I am still hating the fact that we don't have Brandon Thomas on an Outsiders book and was dreading this because of that. It was not as bad as I expected. So still neutral, but trending up.
It wasn't a great Outsiders book. It was a fine Red Hood book. It was not a good Outsiders book. It wasn't a bad Outsiders book.
I'm saying this is thumbs down because this seems really pointless and I didn't like it and it's going nowhere and I don't understand why they're just publishing this book.
I did wonder why I was reading it. Yeah,
this is the kind of thing you would put in Batman the Brave and the Bold. It's not, I don't think it's currently, it didn't have to be published this month. It's not tying into any events that really need to happen. And it's just not that high quality.
I mean, I'm always up for a Jason story, but yeah, I was wondering while I was reading it, what is the point of this?
But let's move to Poison Ivy number 9.
Neutral. I thought it was over, so I was really happy. And then I found out it's not. Not only is it not over at 9, it's not going to be over at 12. So I mean, I'm glad she's changing. I'm having trouble understanding what her motivation is and if she actually is changing and why suddenly her spores aren't deadly, but whatever.
Thumbs up. Now, I ultimately think that our friend Janet is going to turn into Crazy Lady and just go all Fatal Attraction, putting the bunny in a pot of boiling water, Glenn Close type of crazy. Because it's obvious that, she has a thing for Ivy, but with Harley popping in and saying, still my boo, that's not going to sit well. And so I can, if anything happens as Ivy continues this redemption story that I still think she's getting in, which means you should read it, I think that Janet might be the person that pulls her back from it. It won't be Harley who's trying to get her to get that redemption story. It's going to be Janet who pulls her back and say, no, you need to be stone cold crazy again. Eco terrorist and just murder, death, kill everyone. But yes, thumbs up for me. Although it was kind of weird just how her and Harley just immediately just jumped into the bedroom like 2 pages in. And then
not completely surprising with all those covers, but yeah. Story-wise.
The covers were beautiful.
The covers were beautiful.
And a rip-off. This is still an abstain for me. There's only one way that I will actually read this book, and that is the thing that got me to read our next book, which is The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 5, a.k.a. The Joker, Season 2, number 5.
Abstain.
This is a, to be fair, this is a neutral. The main story is a thumbs up. It has Stephanie Brown in it. She does a Batman impression, and it's awesome. And Carmine D. Giandomenico draws Stephanie Brown, which is a dream I've had for a long, long time. So this issue is in my collection now.
Wait, say that name again?
Sucks.
Say that name again?
Carmine D. Giandomenico.
Carmine Di Giandomenico.
Carmine D. Giandomenico. The backup has great art. I do love Francisco Francavilla, but I hate the quote-unquote jokes that they're telling. It's not funny. It's gross. It feels really fetishy in a very just squicky and gross way, and I want them to stop. This book doesn't need backups. It's an excuse to charge $6 for this series. Make it a $5 series and stop it. So that's why it's a neutral, because the backup really does hurt the score. Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, number 4.
Abstain.
Neutral, trending up, but they gotta stop chopping up Jim Gordon. They can't keep sending body parts. The story was fine as they're going through the trains, trying to figure out how to, make the train go back to its original weight without taking anybody. That was a good idea, but they got to stop. I can't keep seeing body parts from Jim Gordon pop up. So, Mark, you gotta slow that down some, bro.
Abstained. One Joker series was enough for this episode. For me. Gotham City Year 1, number 5.
Oh, thumbs up. That was very interesting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not very observant, but I was actually shocked at how much backstabbing and in crime there was in the story. It's very intriguing.
I will take your word for it.
This is actually a thumbs down for me because...
Okay, so wait. So I need y'all to battle this out. So we got a thumbs up and a thumbs down. I need someone to convince me one way or the other. I mean, because I was kind of thrown off anyway with the whole Slam Bradley sleeping with. That was just meh.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm really worried it's going to turn out that Slam is Bruce's grandfather. I don't want that.
No.
Oh God, Jesus, that would be.
The biggest problem for me is that I hate the movie Chinatown, and this movie is this comic is so clearly trying to be Chinatown. Additionally, this feels like it really needed to be a 12-issue miniseries. There's so much going on, and I don't think it works. So that's why it's a thumbs down for me on this issue.
I thought the pacing was fine. I don't think it needs to be longer.
I don't get the feeling that the city's actually burning. Like, I understand that I'm supposed to know that, but I don't feel it.
Yeah, I guess I didn't understand why that was happening. No, I like.
Is it the penultimate issue?
Yes, this is the second to last, penultimate.
I don't know. I like that nothing was what I thought it was, and the baddie was never. I don't know. I liked the mystery and the reveal of the mystery.
That's fair. I don't know. I hate Chinatown, and I know lots of people love it, and clearly Tom King loves it, but I do not.
I have not seen Chinatown. That's
I would not recommend it.
Kurt Russell, right?
No, Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway.
That's Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, that's Big Trouble in Little China.
I've never seen that movie.
I haven't seen either.
I like Kurt Russell's son Wyatt, though. He's pretty good.
Oh boy, that was funny.
Whoopsies.
All right, so we've got to the point in the podcast where I am going to go on a little rant. So
and I am here for it.
We have 3 tie-in titles to Lazarus Planet this episode.
That
The
Theo
next
is abstaining all from.
I wish I had done the same. Next Evolution, Legends Reborn, and Dark Fate. And what I realized when I read these issues is that Lazarus Planet is a filler arc between issues 4 and 5 of Batman vs. Robin. And I hate every part of this. Batman vs. Robin has like this big event that supposedly happens in issue 4, and then Mark Waid writes Lazarus Planet Alpha and Lazarus Planet Omega, and those are the only issues that actually matter. Everything else is random adventures, and what makes it worse is that they're random adventures that aren't full stories. They're teasers. And they're all teasers for upcoming stories. So this entire event is nothing except overpriced, because these are all oversized issues. So you have to pay more than your $4 or $5 for a regular issue. They're not complete stories, and they're all advertisements for upcoming series. We've got Doom Patrol, we've got Night Terrors, we've got Spirit World, we've got
City Boy,
we've got Red Canary. Like, all of these are upcoming stories, and they're all incomplete. They don't have any sense that this is an actual story that I'm going to come back and be like, oh, this is a great thing I want in my collection. If you buy these books, you are buying the equivalent of a trailer clip reel. And I think that is beyond offensive. If you want to do this kind of thing, you do it on Free Comic Book Day, or you do it as an entry level price, like a couple dollars, $1 or $2. I understand that they're big books. Well, maybe you shouldn't have spent so much time and money making trailer clip reels as your big event in January and February. Did you think of that, DC? No, you didn't. Instead, you decided to charge everyone, and it's not working. Believe it or not, my comic store is really upset because they ordered a bunch of these because it was going to be the big event, and no one's buying them because everyone can tell where they're being suckered. So, Lazarus Planet sucks. All of these sucks. All of them get a thumbs down, and no one should buy it.
I read the Nightwing City Boy story in Reborn. I thought that was kind of cute, but I skipped pretty much everything else. I read the Flatline Roz story, and Roz is back. He came out of an urn for no reason except that Flatline opened it, and Ubu has a hair now and is alive for no reason.
Didn't he just die in in Detective Comics?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was happy to see more Flatline. I'm not happy that she's in a trailer clip.
Yeah, that's all I read.
Let me take a deep breath.
I'm kind of disappointed. I was expecting more from you.
I feel like I got pretty heated.
I'm glad it's over.
Wait, Last Planet is over already? It's just
No, the rant.
oh.
The rant is over. Unfortunately, we have another episode to go. All right, on to better things. Batman Beyond the White... Oh, sorry. I said this wrong. Batman Beyond the White Knight, number 8.
I think I've been saying Batman Beyond the White. Anyway, a thumbs up. Oh my gosh, Dick and Jason were so great together, arguing about who is Robin when Duke is Robin now. But whatever.
I was the first, but I've been the longest.
and Jack reconnecting with Jackie was cute, and it's just a good story all around. It wraps up a little too fast in my mind, but whatever. That always happens. Thumbs up. Loved it.
I will say again that Jason and Dick in the White Knight universe is the story that we didn't know we wanted, but we absolutely need right now. The interaction with those two is more brotherly than I've seen in main continuity in quite a long time. That is Damian Dick level brotherhood, you know? So that was just awesome. And I am happy that Bruce is acknowledging his wife now, which is also a good thing. But it's going to be interesting to see how Sean Murphy handles this expansion of the universe with these new titles that's coming out. Mm-hmm. I mean, it almost makes me ask that he comes up with a new universe, since it's no longer really White Knight. It's something. You know, it's more than just the Joker. So, but I'm still here for it. This last issue was wonderful. 2 thumbs up. But give me Dick and Jason in a book, please.
I have to say abstain because I forgot this was out.
Oh no!
Oh, you're
I
terrible.
will read it. I have been enjoying many parts of this series, so I will get to it. I just didn't get to it this time.
You're so fired.
Batgirls, number 15.
Neutral? I don't know. I had a bit of a problem with Steph's ending. I don't know. I think Cass was too quick to pull out the Lazarus resin, and also I don't remember where she got that from, and that's weird.
She got it last issue.
Did she? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the Lazarus resin. I don't think that's something Bat family members should be using on each other, higgledy-piggledy.
Well, I will say, from
solicitation... Hold up. Because Theo actually read this.
Whoa, what?
What?
I know. I had to... Only one reason. I had to get the follow-up to issue 14. Because I gave credit where credit was due to 14, so I figured I had to read 15 to see the fallout. And the idea of Cass using the Lazarus resin on Steph just ruined it for me. Okay, this is comics. There are more than one way to bring somebody back. I mean, we've got. I don't like it, and so neutral trending down for that one reason right there.
Yeah,
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a big thumbs up. I liked it because I noticed Cass getting the Lazarus resin last issue, and I like seeing that kind of setup and payoff. And I also am 100% certain, and this is not because I've read anything, but I am 100% certain from solicitations that this is going to result in complications to come.
Okay.
This is not going to be just an easy fix it. There are going to be problems caused by this choice. I also don't want Steph to be dead, so a thumbs up for me.
I am more inclined to give it a thumbs up if there's going to be consequences to those actions, because to me it was just like I was thinking it was a quick fix. I was like, that is not okay. That's making a deal with the devil and expecting no consequences. But
I also have to say, like, I did not expect him to go as far as they did. Like
It was crazy.
This went hard, and I was here for it. I was really along for the ride, and I really enjoyed it. So big thumbs up.
I did appreciate that. Yes, he was going crazy, and I mean, almost I don't know, psychopath villain crazy. But they kept like referring to it, like, you need help. You're obviously not well. Like, Dad, we can get you psychiatric help. And I thought that was good that they were actually referring to it and like, you've completely lost your mind. This is all insane, instead of just going along with an insane plan like you do in comic books. I actually did like the whole issue except for the Lazarus resin. So
I Am Batman number 18, the end of this series.
oh my gosh, a big fat neutral. Mainly, no, did I say thumbs up? Oh, apparently I said thumbs up when I read it.
What? What?
Probably mainly because it was over. So the series as a whole, I didn't have a problem with the concept. I didn't have a problem with the setup. New York was stupid, but sure, whatever. Black Batman in New York makes sense. Whatever. It's great. I loved the characters that were developed during it wasn't Fear State, it was
Future
State. The execution was complete poo-poo. It just fell apart. It was garbage. And then what they did with the Fox family was garbage. And the bad guys were garbage. And it could have been good. And it wasn't. So I'm giving it a thumbs up because it's over. And I like that Tiff is Robin. And yeah.
a Robin with no name.
A Robin with no name.
But it's a thumbs down for me. I'm just like you. I'm happy it's over, but man, I'm so disappointed in where Ridley went with the story. And again, it may not all be his fault. We know how editorial can just screw everything up. But happy it's over. Don't let him come back. Keep him in New York, and yeah.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
That too.
Or do.
That's a big thumbs down for me too. This took characters I love, specifically Lucius, Tim, and Luke, and either made them extremely unlikable for no good reason, or put them in a coma again. So thumbs down for this book, thumbs down for the series, and I really hope that we can get a Luke Fox book and not a Jace Fox book in the future. Or a Tam Fox. Batman Incorporated number 5.
Oh, man. Thumbs up. And I'm so proud of my baby boy making good choices.
This would be Clown Hunter for the uninitiated.
Thumbs up. And Ghostmaker was like, I totally could kill you, but I'm not going to because I promised that I wouldn't. And then he acknowledged that, yes, the people that you killed were baddies. That the people that the baddies killed were baddies. I really liked it. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. The entire series has been good thus far. I do like Ghostmaker reminding us of the promise he made to Bruce. Mm-hmm. So that was fun to see brought back to light. And the art's been great. So thumbs up.
Yeah, it's thumbs up for me too. I'm really happy that this is getting a thumbs up across the board from the podcast. I really hope you guys are checking it out. This book could definitely fly under the radar because it doesn't have any of those name brand characters in it, even though it has Batman ink on the cover. I personally hope Brisson is smart and gets Bruce to do a cameo so we can maybe get some advertising. But it's great. Quality-wise, this book is really top tier. A surprise edition. Theo told us about this collection. DC Power, A Celebration.
I read the 2 TBU stories, and they were lovely. They were lovely little stories. In fact, I would say that the Batwing story was more romantic than anything I skimmed through in the Valentine special, it didn't look very romantic at all, so I didn't bother reading any of the stories.
Yes, it is a thumbs up for me. The entire collection was pretty good, with the exception of maybe the Cyborg story, which I found disappointing considering it's supposed to be It's supposed to be a ongoing series coming soon. However,
Is it the same creative team as the ongoing?
the writer, yes. The artist, no. However, much like the Jason Dick book that I got to say that a different way. Unlike the Dick Jason book that we all need in the White Knight universe, I absolutely need to see more of Vixen and Batwing. That is my newest favorite ship because it was a ship I was not expecting. And for all those out there who feared the idea of editorial putting Luke with Barbara again, we now know that can't happen anymore because he's kissing it up with Vixen, and it's supposed to be in continuity because it's supposed to be continuing in Dawn of DC. So, yes, thumbs up for the whole book and for that story. Oh, and by the way, even though it's not TBU, Brandon Thomas does it again. He actually made me interested in characters I have absolutely no interest in prior to him putting his hands on them, and that was the Kid Flash Aquaman story with Jackson and Wallace. Absolutely love it. And again, Brandon Thomas, he can just write all of the terrible characters. Just please don't do Harper Row because I would hate to have to like Harper Row.
I would hate to like Harper Row. There's a pull quote. I only read the Batwing and Vixen story, but man, seeing Batwing being awesome, having a great love interest, great banter, great tech, good art. It was like balm after reading that I Am Batman story. Like, okay, so I Am Batman had good art. I'm not just in the art for I Am Batman, but like how he was written in that series was a disgrace. And this is Batwing being competent and awesome and smart and just he's a hero and I love it.
And he and Mari just seems to go well together.
It's a good compliment because you got the tech versus the sort of nature-y powers.
Yeah, and it makes me want JLA back with her being the leader. As long as Brandon Thomas is writing it.
That'd be pretty legit, Brandon Thomas, JLA.
Yeah, let him write all the things. Like I said, everything but Harper Row.
And we're going to end up with a book I think probably only I read. The Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #5.
Yep, abstain.
Most definitely abstain.
So the reason I put this on is because Charlie Fish is back on writing duties. I really wish they would just give these miniseries to Charlie Fish alone. I know he probably does this because he wants to get the writers a leg up and collaborate. And he's just, I told my comic shop guy this when I went in today. I said, Charlie Fish is like the Jewish Mr. Rogers of the DC neighborhood. He's just so sweet and he's so knowledgeable and he walks in and he creates these great little gems of one-shot stories, but he also can do through lines and he is just fantastic. And if he wrote the whole series, I'd be subscribed to it, but he's only doing like one every 3 or 4 issues. But this one was a Batwoman and Bet Kane issue, or Betty Kane, the original Bat Dash girl, as Stella would call it. And it's fantastic. If you like that classic era of pre-crisis DC, this also ties in Kate Kane. So like it's that kind of semi-multiversal, but not in a meta way. It's just really fun use of all the toys on the table storytelling. And then Scooby-Doo and the wackiness of those characters. Thumbs up for Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #5. We do have one piece of feedback from our Discord.
The professor from Discord says, was excited to have a bit of time to listen to this ep. Rare for me these days. I just want to note that at Wedge, who is Ian, started by trying to ask some questions and that proved impossible as the cast had to spend 30 minutes trying to decipher just what the heck is actually going on in the story. Oh, is he talking about tech?
Yeah.
Did I say that? Did he say that? Anyway, we're talking
about... This was on the last episode, this comment.
FWIW? What is
For
that?
what it's worth.
For what it's worth, my feelings about this run are entirely captured by This Is Steph's perspective. That's me. I don't understand what's going on at all, and I really only liked number 1068 because it gave us a solid character study of Two-Face. Tynion has his faults as a storyteller, but one of the things I appreciated the most is that he is able to get out of his own way and let his characters be the stars. Tamaki was also skilled in this end. Like Tynion, she told stories that could be followed on any serial basis, rather than retrospectively in trade, as Ian suggests would be best with Rom V. In contrast, Tom King's narratives are totally about Tom King and what he wants to do, and I'm worried the same thing is happening with Rom V. I'm with Admiral Wright, that's Theo, in the sense that I'm barely hanging on there, and that's sad because this is tech. Yeah.
Well, I do think that Ram V is like, I feel like I get what he's trying to do, but I feel like this is the kind of thing you do in if you can persuade DC to let you do it, a 12-issue miniseries where you do a slow burn, but you have a lot of depth and richness and payoff. Doing it an undefined run on one of the main books, I feel, is going to depress sales. Maybe it'll end up in a classic story that people can point to, a couple years from now and say, wow, that's a really great story you can read and trade now. But I don't know about it as a weekly reading experience.
Yeah.
Or monthly, sorry.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. Because it was so fun to get Tamaki's stuff bi-weekly. And then for a little bit weekly.
Not fun for Theo.
Not fun for Theo.
Not fun writing. It was wonderful reading.
Yeah. And now it's a slow burn story we're getting once a month. And it's like, oh my gosh. All right, this thing, it still exists. I still don't know what's happening.
Even if this was bi-weekly or twice a month, I would probably feel the same way. I don't know. Although I am loving the Harvey Two-Face conflict.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best thing thus far. And the boy still needs a damn name.
Thanks for writing in. That was a very perceptive comment for sure. That brings us to the end of our schedule. So I will now thank all the patrons. If you become a Patreon, join our Patreon at a certain level, we will read your name and thanks. And so let me do that. Lisa Slack, Donald Morgan Grant, Austin Davis, Ian Miller, Stanton's Grave, Johnny McCloskey, Gerald Green, Donald Townsend, Cesar Diaz, Joshua Lappin Bertoni, Ed Grouse, Jessica Morales, Rob O, Captain America, David Richards, Tim Garassi, Mary Garrett, Robert Lewis, and Stephanie Mounts. Thank you all. We really appreciate that you help keep our archive on the air and our new episodes running. We hope you're getting a lot out of it, and feel free to let us know what you're thinking on the various platforms that you can. In the meantime, I've been Ian.
This is Steph.
And this is Theo.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
March 3rd. I know you're not doing anything. We need to hit the road to Dallas.
You know I'm not doing anything.
We need to hit the road to Dallas, dude. Waifu Expo.
I've been to Dallas before.
Okay, but Ian, I highly doubt that you went to Waifu Expo.
Or Furry Fiesta.
No, I'm not worried about that. I'm looking at the guest lineup for Waifu Expo.
I'm not going to either of these things. I'm not a weeb or a furry. Ian. What happens in Dallas stays in Dallas, dude. That's Vegas.
There too.
I have nursery at church on the 5th. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to a furry convention and then taking care of babies.